It's a beautiful day on Brit's block. Go ahead, slide through. You're right on time. Welcome to my neighborhood.
Welcome to Brit's block. Come take a walk where love is loud and dreams can talk. Hey, yeah. Every step is so inspired. We shine bright even when it's dark. Oh, hey, sunshine. Come on in. To uplift and inspire. Can be the understood on Brit's block. We talk real things, joy, peace, and the growth in it. So pull up, chill, let your spirit rock. You home now. You home now. You on Brit's block. You on Brit's block. Big vibes, big heart, real talk, we smart. Every part of the block is a work of art. Laugh a little, heal a lot, we don't pretend. We building something better, friend to friend. Hey, sunshine. Let the love and the light begin. Understood on Brit's block, where you belong. This ain't just vibes. This ain't just vibes. This is your song. Hey, sunshine.
Hello to all my beautiful neighbors on Brit's block. I am Brit. As you come in, please like the video. It helps me to get in the algorithm and see by more people. So please, just like the video. And make sure you tell your neighbors, family, and friends to come on over to Brit's block and find out what's going on. And then turn on your notification bell to make sure that every time I upload a new video, you're going to be informed. And if you like to be a blessing to my channel, you can at Cash App, $ on Brit's block. Again, Cash App, $ on Brit's block. Or through super stickers, super thanks. Or just joining my membership. It's only $1.99. So, these are our announcements. So please, govern yourself accordingly. And let's get into this video. Hey, my little rays of sunshine. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody had a great week at work. And if you work the weekend, that you're going to have a good weekend. I woke up this morning feeling good, y'all. I did. Today has been a great day so far. This week I have been so tired and just fatigued. I guess there's so much. My body's trying to get it back together from being in the hospital, and I'm back home and getting the medicine out of my system. But today I feel great. I feel amazing. So I hope that everybody else is feeling good today. So I'm here to do this little third. I give my thoughts on this third episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 10. So let's get into this. Well, it starts back again with Woo Woo and Ken and Tisha back at the house. And last week it ended with them kind of jumping up. Well, Ken stood up. Woo Woo stood up. And Ken was like, man, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. So he was just like, Woo Woo gets so passionate in what he's talking about. And so he was up and Ken was like, man, you walked to my house again like you're supposed to. And then he jump up and, he started getting all, running at this man. So he's like, get out, get out, get out. So Ken started, Woo Woo started walking towards the door. But Ken kind of like run at him. When the man was going to the door to walk out, you should just stood there and watched him walk out the door. Not still trying to get at the man. So now you making it more complicated. Y'all already brought this lady in here that shouldn't even be here because it had absolutely nothing to do with her. So you run up at him about something, it's just so much going on. It's chaotic. So then the son come downstairs. Again, a lot of times when adults talking about stuff and you know that it could get out of hand, I think sometimes you should go somewhere where the kids are not there. Or have the kids out the house. Because like then his son come out here, now he see Ken running at his daddy. And his daddy mad and he up and swatting at lamps and stuff, telling them they good furniture. So it's crazy. It's just overwhelming. And then again, like I've said from the beginning, Ken need to stay out of this situation. Whoop whoop and he woman, they need to go have counseling with somebody. See Dr. Francis, see Ayana Fix My Life. I don't care at this point, whoever it is, go see them, talk to them, and see can they come to a common ground. Not one time have I heard them say, we have been to therapy to try to work through this. Me and Ken, me and Woo Woo, and he woman, yeah, we went to therapist, and the therapist said, we ain't gonna, no. Because y'all have been battling this really since y'all were teenagers. And now y'all grown, and 1 minute she over here saying, oh, he my best friend. If he ever need me, I'll be there. But then when she get in front of Ken or somebody else, oh, he get on my nerve. I can't stand him. Trisha, at the end of the day, need to be by herself. She don't need to be with Whoop Whoop. She don't need to be with Kenyatta. She need to be by herself so she can learn who she is. And stop lying. She don't want to be married. She got one man on one hand saying, go ahead, we can dissolve this marriage and you can be with him. And then you got this man over here saying, hurry up, we need to be together. It's just too much right here in this case. And I feel like, just let it go. Ken need to stay in Ken's place because you are not the father. Let that go. And then it's everybody be by themselves. Because Ken love to have women that got other men in their life. He love to be the side dude. I don't know what it is. He feel like, I don't want to be the man. I got to be the side piece. I'm good. But that's on him. So then we get to Kimmy calling Tuna Cat and saying, let's get together and we going to have a ladies night. We ain't had one in so long. It's like a lot of going on in life. She said, okay. So then she's also having a date night with Maurice. And I don't know. Because I can say, I'm not saying that it's their house. And if it is, it's a nice house. And I have saw from season to season to season, they have been in this house. But if it is Kimmy's house, it's really a nice house. And so they go on the back porch and they got like the little lights on this strewn on this wood, but they have a fire pit. So Kimmy is telling Maurice Caillou Jr. that she had been to see Jaylen, her son, and so they were just talking. She said, he become like her little best friend. Now that he's older, he's transitioned to a man. Now it's like a little best friend. So she was hanging out with him. But as she was hanging out with him, they was talking, and she was just telling Maurice how they feel like, he do more lecturing and talking versus being there. So she goes on to tell him that Jaylen said that she felt like he's felt like in his lifetime that Caillou was not a father to him. Be that father figure because he's not his father, but he's been more of a dictator. Do this, do that, more of a talker and less of a father. But he feel as though lately Marceau has been more of a father to him. And so Caillou kind of looking like, what? He feel what? But the thing is, what Kimmy got to realize is that because she's raising Caillou. Caillou is her son too. So yeah, that's how that's why you gonna feel like that. But I mean, because you got 3 boys you're trying to raise. He doesn't even raise his own son. Kimmy is there telling him, go to bed, go here, do this, do that. Let me help you with your homework. Let me pick you up. Let me do this. He's not even doing that. She has had to tell him, spend time with your son. And I would say that Marceau, I could say looking back at some of the episodes a while back when the Black first opened, no, I feel like yes, he should have gave the boy more help, but Marceau was there to try to teach him, or how do I put it? Try to help him along, even though it may be the wrong advice. But Marceau was there to sit down and talk to him. He could talk to Marceau. You saw him talking to Marceau more than you saw him talking to Caillou. So Caillou said he want to go talk to him because, you know, it kind of make him feel bad that he feel as though, you know, you can talk to my brother more than you can talk to me. If you wasn't Kimmy's son, he probably could talk to you, and he don't want to talk to you like a brother. He said to her that he see Kyle you more as a mentor than a father, because yeah, you talk too much. You know, he always want to talk and give all these grand speeches or whatever. Don't nobody want to hear that as a parent. You know, let's go out and do something together. You know, help me learn how to, you know, fix a flat tire, or help me with my homework, or let's go have lunch together. You have not saw him do that with that boy. So no. So now we at Nell and Fletcher house. When I tell you, let's get into their outfits. What the kids say these days, oh, they 8. When I tell you, these two know how to put their clothes on. That's what we say here a lot of times in my family and stuff. They know how to put their clothes on. And they look so nice. This first picture with Fletcher, I would have never thought to put these two colors together. But they look amazing. They never fail me that often. And sometimes they do. But when I tell you what they got on, and then this next picture, I mean, they look great. They know how to put their clothes on. They ain't up here with hands over the boobs or this here and that there. They look great when they put their clothes on. And I'm going to give them kudos to that. Good job. Congratulations. But they look nice. So when they first started, they in the kitchen, they talking, and she was saying how she had to have like 4 stars for daycare to get funding, to get more money, and then for the kids to be educational. She needs them to come in and do some work for her daycare for them to get funding. And she got to go do classes, which, that's great. But then she said that she tells Fletcher that they got some, she got an invitation from Kimmy for them to go out to eat with the girls. And he got like, for what? He said, you know, just for them to get together. And then she started talking about Destiny. And he said, well, what you think about that? And she was like, you know, I'm not taking sides between her, Destiny, and Little Lance. Whatever they done. And, you know, she said, they don't take sides. But her thing is, she want to talk to Destiny when you say, you know, you got to go back and reevaluate our friendship. Because, and it's so funny that they don't call names on some people, but they will on the other one. So when, you know, she wanted her to invite Sonny to her wedding renewal, and that's like, well, if you invite him, we got to reevaluate. She said, you know, so she was telling Fletcher, okay, what we need, let's talk about it. What do we need to reevaluate? And maybe I need to, you know, evaluate what we got going on. Destiny is a child, and Nell, by now, you a grown adult. And at this point, I don't see why you feeling around with her. Anyway, she's too young. And she young-minded. She got other things to do, but you would have one time tell me to reevaluate our friendship. You ain't got to worry about it, baby, because I'm going to go ahead and dissolve it. So, that's on that part. So now we get where the ladies are out to eat. I hate to coincide or cross people together, but it's like everything Kimmy says that she's doing, that's what Mel would do. Girl, be yourself, because you're not her. You're not her. We're not bringing her up when you stop trying to recreate her. Anyway, so they talking, and so they getting together. It's Nell, Tisha, Kimmy, and Trish. So Trish want to start telling them about what happened with the paper. She's like, yeah, you know, we're getting a divorce, and he tried to say that I said that he wasn't, I didn't have any kids by him. Basically, she lying. All you gotta do is say, look, I made a mistake the first time and put on that wedding, and he still bring that up, and that be it. Stop acting like you don't know what happened, because you do. You didn't put that ball on that paper, and stop trying to tell us lie. So then Kimmy goes on to say and tell them that how Jaylen felt like Maurice, you know, was basically a counselor, and how he felt like Marceau was more of a father figure. So Tisha like, yeah, they worked at Monaco, and then they worked at Black, and said that Marceau says that Jaylen is his oldest son. So when they get on the green screen, this is what don't make no sense to me. Tisha says, well, yeah, when Kim and Jaylen, they were together for so long, being separate, and he was able to talk to her, and then when she got with Maurice, that Jaylen should have felt more comfortable talking to Maurice, and then how as time went along, he should have felt more comfortable going to Maurice. First of all, that picture is backwards. When Kimmy got with Maurice, Kimmy was the package. You not only established a relationship with that woman, but you established a relationship with her child. It was not his job to go and try to make conversation and talk to him. It was Maurice's job to come and say, look, come on, man, let's go out here and do this. Or let's do that, let's do this. Not the child's responsibility. He's a child. And a child is supposed to stay in the child's place. I'm thinking, did she just say that? See, Tisha let me know just how dumb she is day by day. Because you thinking it was Jaylen's job to go to Maurice and establish a relationship. No. When he decided to pick a woman that had a child, that became his job. I mean, come on, girl. You be smarter than the average fifth grader. I get worried sometimes about these people on this show. I really do. So the ladies are talking, and they start telling them about her having grandkids, and Tisha and them asked like, well, how you feel about it? Why would she feel the type of way? She ain't birthed no babies. But she said that Lance did not know that this girl was pregnant until after she had the baby. So she's like, well, he been with Destin all this time. She said he didn't find out. She said they was out of town or something, and that's when they found out that the girl had a baby. But Lance didn't know neither. So I'm like, y'all asking her what her opinion is. Them ain't her kids, and she ain't got to raise now one of them. That's their babies. Y'all the father, not me. So then she said she asked Tisha, what did they think? What did she think about what Martell said in that interview? And Tisha wanted to flex and said, what did how do you feel? Why would she feel away? So Tisha got an attitude with her like, I feel like it's some stuff. I heard about some things about Nell, out here in the streets. I don't know why she asking me about how I feel. So, what's her problem? And I think I told her so he should clear it up. So she's like, well, and if you want this, so then she tell her, if you want to know how we feel about the interview, go watch our interview on Instagram. Girl, bye. You don't want to tell her that you felt stupid. Just go ahead and tell her you felt like you was a fool. Just be honest about it. Don't sit there and try to deflect to her like she asked you a question. How you gonna ask her how she feel? Why would she feel any kind of type of way? They interviews about you and your husband. So she asked you, how did you feel? So then she goes and says Marceau felt the type of way, and then Kimmy said Maurice felt the type of way after Fletcher said about them having NDAs about these women. So she's like, I'm gonna stand by my husband, but I can't say nothing about how he say something though. So on to the next. So next, Jaylen and Maurice are meeting. First of all, it seems like Jaylen gets so timid around him when he's talking. So they're playing pool, and he asked Jaylen about his job, and he was just telling him. And then Jaylen said that, he got an interview for a job in Colorado, and he's thinking about taking it. And he's like, you think you want to move? He's like, yeah, he really don't have nobody here but his mom. So he want to go out here and see what else the world has to offer. And Maurice asked him, what you said, I thought about maybe, you get into the family business. And Jaylen looked at him like, what? what's the thing about that? He looked at him like, I don't think so. He said, I don't learn the Scots. And Maurice like, what you mean by that? He's like, you know, you will say, come and do this, and then you want me to figure it out. So this man want to go on a job. First of all, he has a degree. He went to college, and his mama paid for his school. His school is paid for, and it's paid off. He want to use his degree towards something that's lucrative, and that's, it's gonna be there, and you ain't gotta. You can learn, and versus trying to teach yourself and know that at the end of the day is right. So no, he don't want to get into the family business with y'all. He already know that y'all scammers and schemers, and y'all not gonna do right. So he's like, the hierarchy would be Marceau, and then he telling everybody at the bottom, go do what you gotta do and learn. He's like, pretty much like, no, I don't want to get in the family business. And my thing is today, my question, what is the family business? What is it? Because all y'all act like y'all got something different. Kimmy want to open a restaurant, and she sell real estate. We still don't know whether you allow oil or not. The Scots, have black, and then they don't have black. They so-called got a construction business. So, he's like, no, I want to go on a job that's really got, real people doing real work. So then he just go on, and he was telling him how, Jaylen was saying how he felt about him growing up. So he tells him, you will come in there and ask me something, to do something, when your son is in there playing video games just as well as I am. And Maurice get on the green screen, like, you raise these child differently and it works. No, it doesn't work. If this boy said he felt like you wasn't there as a father, then it's not working. He one of the people that they talk but they don't listen. That way they listen but they ain't understanding. At the end of the day, whatever you just said, their way was still right. So this boy is telling you, I feel as though you was there. So he gonna ask him, but do you think I love Marceau more? And he was kind of like, well, yeah, you would, because that's your flesh and blood. It means that's your biological child. You probably gonna love him more than you would love me. Not saying you love us any different, but that's your seed. And so it's like talking to a brick wall at this point, because you still want to make it seem like, yeah, I hear you, and then he finna go on this long speech. Don't nobody want to hear that. Just know at the end of the day, you was not there for that boy like you were supposed to. You got with this woman, and instead of being her husband, you want to be her son, and her son became your brother, and you was using him instead of you telling your child to get up, go in there and do this, that, and the other. And Kimmy has said several times, I asked Monster to take the trash out. He's like, well, you, and he didn't take it out. Well, you tell him, well, you should be able to tell Monster to do this, that, and other. Again, you were not there. And Kimmy even said, let me go back. When the women was talking, Kimmy said that Maurice was hands off. I ain't say hands on, I said hands off. So no, you are not the father that you should be. So you didn't even tell your own son what to do, or you didn't even know how to tell him you wanted Kimmy to do it. You just wanted to be there, and that be it. So that's about it with them. So this next scene is Chris Fletcher goes and meet with Ken and his friend. And when I tell you, listen to this right here, well, this man was the smartest person. So once again, Ken wanted to come in. Let's talk about how we can fix this. And Trish still does not say that this man was helping his daughter bring the stuff in. I know even when it came up, so he was trying. So it's like, yeah, he walked in our house and Trish and her friend was there. He didn't just walk in there. She's still lying. Trish tell all these lies to Ken, because Ken ain't there. Ken say he on the road, which we know that's a lie too. That's been debunked, that you was out here walking through the woods, so you don't have no license. You might have been on a job, but not driving no truck. He was not there. He walked in with helping his daughter, not really walking in. Then he goes to tell them how he got physical at home and stuff. And this man is still saying you were inserting yourself somewhere you don't belong. Where It shouldn't be like that. You know, me and Trisha, to seeing around me and Trisha, we doing good together. He said, but it's like y'all like a puzzle piece, and y'all missing some puzzles. You know, y'all got extra pieces. It's extra piece. The extra pieces. It's Marquez. No, at the end of the day, you're the extra piece, because you and Trisha are not married. Y'all are just boyfriend and girlfriend. This man is still married to this woman, and at the end of the day, he'll still have all the legal say if something was to happen to her, whether you believe it or not. So, at the end of the day, because we're gonna make this part right here long. Chris Fletcher said, you know, would you be in this? Ask the guy, would you be in a situation that Ken is in with him? He said no. I said he's so smart, cause like, you know, you want to try to fix something. He said, is it that you trying to just fix something? Are you happy to be in this? So he's like, no, you know, I wouldn't even be in it, and why you in the middle of it? Cause it ain't your place. So we gonna get on now. We at the Kimmy and Maurice and Lee and Trish, like whatever, Tuna Cat are having dinner. So again, it comes up about how Jaylen feels, and first of all, Marceau just says, Marceau just says that Jaylen came by talking about something, and Maurice like, why? So then they got into the conversation of how the boy feels, and it's just not sticking with Maurice that you are not being a father to him. So he's like, you know, it's a hierarchy. You know, when the parents are not there, it's the oldest, and then the children. First of all, the parent is asking another child to do something. It ain't got nothing to do with who ain't there. The parents are in the situation. He not saying, oh, you the oldest, watch Maurice. Watch Monster. He's saying, go do this, go do that, go do that, go do this. When at this point in time, Monster can do it. So Kimmy says, I feel the same way as my son feel. You have not been a father to him. Monster has always been that one that, you know, that's your golden child. You don't tell him to do nothing, but yet still you come hard on my son. Now, we have heard that years back, Monster got in trouble at school for vaping. You ain't never heard him saying that Jaylen did anything. To me, Jaylen is so timid. I don't really see him getting in trouble. I only see why you will ride this boy back, because in fact, he don't like you like a bad child. I don't know him as a child, but you put all your glorification over on your son. Your son don't want to school, got in trouble. So it's like, and then so they talking, and every time you say something, he say but. So Marceau say, look, every time you say but, you defending yourself. You know, you being defensive. You're not really listening. What you mean? What you mean? He said, I know how he feel growing up, because I grew up with a golden child, which was you. And he's like, a golden child? Yes. So then it ends there. But all I can say is, at this point in time, the boy grown. He ain't finna. He not gonna change Maurice. Let me go back, because Marceau even told Maurice, you talk too much. And it's true. You wanna have all these long conversations and getting on somebody about what they not doing, versus being that father that you should be. And you might well just go ahead and say, look, I failed at that. Oh, he the son I chose. You ain't no choice but to choose him. When you chose his mama, he was coming along anyway. He had like, I went to the store and picked him out. No, when you chose his mother, that's the package deal. You couldn't be like, well, I choose you. I don't choose your son. I ain't gonna take your son with you. I don't know. Kimmy messed up by marrying somebody boy, getting out here couch surfing, and got her a nice little boy off the couch, because when he coming on her son and being that father that he needed him to be. And so I want to say that Maurice said, being a daddy. No, a father is a person. To me, a dad and a father is different. A father is somebody that's there. They got your back. They 100%. They in your life. you can count on them. My dad is my baby daddy. They just had you basically. And this situation with Ken and Tisha, it needs to be non-existent because all of them need to go to counseling. But y'all, that's it, because I'm not going to hold you any longer. But that is my thoughts on this show, this part of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 10, episode 3. Get in the, no, I ain't gonna say get in the comments. But y'all, please watch the video, like the video at least. And I will see y'all in this video. Have an amazing day on purpose.
It's always love on Brit's block. See you next time, sunshine.